It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
And this is our hour to talk taxes. So that's what we want to talk about, taxes. We want to help you so that you don't overpay. If you hear something that pertains to you, you can amend the last 3 years' tax returns and get your money back if you made that kind of error, or amend it to fix it if you made an error that you shouldn't have done and you owe them some money. If you have a outstanding obligation to the federal government and you don't know how to pay it, we're here to help you. I'd love to hear what you have to say. 8030930. 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. And for those of you out of town in Toronto, Florida, Arizona, our phone number is 800-616-WBEN. Give us a call, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. I'm here in studio with Chris Fabian. Hello, Esther. I was in the lobby the other day, and I was doing my credit card, and a gentleman was there and said, "Hello, Esther." And I said, "You must listen to the radio show." I got Chris out of the office.
Yes, you did.
All right. Well, our subject for the day is itemized deductions, and people, that's what people think is a long form, which is really not true, right?
No, it's a piece of the puzzle of the long form.
Right. That was, in the olden days, that was kind of like when people said, I did the long forms because you itemized. Now you do a long form because you got all kinds of things, credits and deductions and all adjustments.
Self-employed, sale of stock, rental.
So the thing is, there's basically, when you itemize, there's medical things that are deductible, taxes, interest.
Yep. Casualty, theft, and loss. You got charity. And you got miscellaneous expenses subject to 2%, a.k.a. job expenses.
Right.
And then you have miscellaneous deductions not subject to 2%.
Right. And so who itemizes? Who wants to itemize? Well, first of all, you got to look at your standard deduction. Yep. If you're a married couple, they're going to give you $12,400.
Right, as a subtraction.
Right.
So your Schedule A has to beat that $12,400.
Right. If you're single, it's $3,200. $6,200. And if you're head of the household, it's $9,100.
Yes.
So that's what in order to itemize, you have to come over. Now, that's why people will say, I don't think I can itemize because I don't own a home. But that isn't necessarily true. As a matter of fact, I did a doctor. He's a doctor, and he went on a temporary assignment the other day. I did his tax return. And when he was on the temporary assignment, he only was assigned to this particular hospital for 6 months. And he was already fully a doctor. And so when his mother came in to do his return, because believe it or not, the mommy does the son's return, I said, well, what's great is on a temporary assignment, he's got all of his travel, his meals, his rent, everything for him to be on temporary assignment. And so when he sent me all of his expenses, then he was able to itemize.
Yep. Or, you get the people who are high wage earners. They may not own a home. But yet their state withholding is enough to cause them to itemize. So then they could use their charity to help offset it too. So there are a lot of different possibilities.
Right. And so the first category we're going to talk about, and I know that we got calls coming in, but medical. This year, a lot of people are taking medical because if you're paying your own health insurance through the New York State Marketplace, then and you're paying your own health insurance, that's a medical expense, plus a lot of other things that people don't know about. Like, for instance, their medical travel, their glasses, their dentist, their chiropractor, Christian Science practitioners, birth control pills, ambulance, hospital.
Stop smoking programs. You need a hot tub for your bad back for circulation. That's deductible. The extra electric for air conditioning because you have allergies is deductible. Right. List goes on and on and on.
So the medical, now it's more difficult to claim medical because if you're over the age of if you're under the age of 65, it's 10% of your adjusted gross income. But with so many people being forced to have health insurance that maybe wouldn't have in the past, if it's not paid through your employer and you're writing out the check yourself, that's important for you to do. Long-term care insurance is another medical therapy. If you send your kid to a special camp, like maybe your child might have a learning disability, you send them to a special camp, that's deductible.
Children orthodontists.
Right.
Huge expense, orthodontics.
That's exactly right.
Or not just a camp, how about a special school?
Special school, that's exactly right. So these are all medical expenses, right? Hospital bed, you might have to, maybe have somebody recuperating, got to rent a hospital bed, that's deductible. Walkers. Maybe you found out that your hips aren't working so good anymore and you can't get into the bathtub and you have it reconfigured because of your arthritis condition. That's a capital improvement. Hearing aids, hearing aid batteries. Right? So if that's your situation and you haven't tried to see if you can itemize, make sure you look at all those things because that's really, really important. I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone, and we're going to go to Rose. Hey, Rose, how are you?
Hi, Esther. Good. How are you?
Good.
My question is, we filled out a federal tax form with itemized deduction. And we filled out our state tax form, but on that we noticed we have no refund coming, we don't owe any state tax, we have no withholding tax, and we're wondering, do we have to still file this state tax form?
Yes, you do.
You do?
Yes, you do. Because there are things that transfer over from the federal to the state, and when you take your itemized deductions, that maybe gets you to where you're not going to have any liability. Without you filing the form, they don't know, and you could possibly get a letter because they're going to reconstruct it in a less preferable way.
You have to prove to them that you don't owe them money.
Right.
Because their rules are if you make over $3,000, you're supposed to file a return.
Oh, okay. So we do have to still file both.
You really should.
Good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Rose.
Bye-bye.
I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. Our offices are open tonight till 5. Monday through Friday for the rest of the week, 9 to 9. I will tell you, I know it has been brutally cold.
McKinley Mall is open Sunday for those who want.
McKinley Mall is open on Sunday from
11 to 5.
Right. And I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a short break. We'll take your phone calls on the other side, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. We're talking itemized deductions. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I don't know who this is, but then I never do. Okay.
I've been being too nice to you recently.
No. All right, who is this?
Ha Ha Tonka.
The old Ha Ha Tonka. I should have known it was Ha Ha Tonka.
Okay.
All right, but I'm Ha Ha Esther from EG Tax, and we're here to talk taxes and help everybody with their taxes. And we're going to go to, let's see, I think Pat. Hey, Pat, how can we help you?
Hi, Esther. I did a direct rollover of a 401k the beginning of 2014.
Yep.
And I got a 1099-R with Code G.
Yep.
However, mid-year I got married and my name is changed, and the 1099-R has the old name on it. Do I have to get a new one?
Nah, you're good. They go by your number.
Okay.
Your Social Security number is the steering factor, so you don't have to worry. But but good question.
And congratulations. And did you change your name with Social Security?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Good girl.
Yep.
Good.
Everything's done.
Great. Well,
Okay,
stay
thanks
warm.
for your help.
Thank you, dear.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye. The interesting thing people don't know that you can't just roll over your IRAs like you used to be able to. And do you know why? Did you know what happened with that?
Well, people would use it to live on. And
well, that's right. There was a couple, an attorney, a wealthy attorney in New York City who basically laddered his IRAs. So his one would come due maybe in January, the next one in March, the next one in June. And so what he would do is he would take the one maturing in January, keep it for 60 days, then roll it over. And so because it was such an abuse, that's why they made it so you can only do one indirect rollover a year. But you can do direct rollovers all the time.
Yep.
But it's interesting how when somebody abuses the tax code, it can affect everybody. Okay, we're going to go back to Sal. And, hey, Sal, how you doing?
Fine, thank you for taking my call.
Nice to talk to you. What can we do for you?
My question is, I filed a joint with my wife, and she won $2,800 at bingo.
That sounds like a profitable thing.
Yeah, but now I have to pay tax on that, so I put that on line 21.
That's right.
1040. Okay, now she can deduct losses, gambling losses, but that would go on line 28 on my Schedule A.
That's right. Not limited to 2%. Correct.
Okay, but now I don't have enough deductions to fill out Schedule A.
I know.
I can't put that on line 28 and go standard deductions?
Well, you got to
go standard deduction, but you can't. You're going to do your standard deduction because that's better than listing your expenses. But basically, right. Sal, you're going to get the old Jamarooney because you can't net it on line 21.
Right, but not only am I going to have to pay for the $2,800 tax, when I fill out my worksheet for my
Social Security,
it costs you more money.
85% of that is $2,400 plus the $2,800. I'm going to be paying tax on $5,200.
That's exactly right.
Don't seem right.
And that's why we always tell seniors to be very careful when you gamble, because when you gamble, it makes your Social Security more taxable. All that gambling income goes on line 21, and if you can't itemize your deductions, then it just costs you a lot more money.
It costs you double almost.
Yep.
Okay, I want to ask, if I may, my grandson delivers papers.
Okay.
And on his deductions, he puts down cell phone. Now, he is working, he's got his cell phone on like for 14 hours out of the 24 hours. And he gets up at like 3 in the morning, and he takes calls even at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, missed papers, stolen papers, and that he responds to. Could he be justified at taking 50% of his monthly phone bill?
Well, it really has to do with what percentage is he using it for business. So if he takes a look at his usage, is he using it 50% for delivering the paper? And if he is, then that would be the allocation that he would make.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's up like 3 in the morning.
Well, it really has nothing to do with how long you have it on. It really has to do with usage. So of the calls that he's making and all the calls he's receiving, what percentage could he justify are for business?
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay, Sal.
I think I had one more question, but I forgot what it was.
Well, if you think of it, give us a call at the office.
Call us at the office, 632-7886, or you can email us, Sal, at egtax.com, and we'll answer all your questions at no charge, okay?
Could I get that phone number again?
Sure, it's 632-7886.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Sal.
My call.
Bye-bye. Let's see, we're going to go to, who's my next? We'll talk to Mark. Hello, Mark. How can we help you?
Hi, Esther. Question for you. My dad is on limited income, pension, and Social Security, and in the past, he had $100 a month deducted federal tax, and then he would get a return of $1,200 at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Well, he stopped doing that. He did it 3 times this year. Now he's getting the money in his pension plan, and he's 76 years old, no other income. Do I still need to file for him once? I mean, I'm filing this year so he gets his return. But, I mean, do I still have to file for him next year?
Yeah, as long as his income's under the minimum filing requirements, then no, you won't have to after this return.
Yeah, sometimes, you know what they'll do, Mark, is I'll say to a senior, you really don't need to file anymore. And they'll say, well, I want to file so I can prove my STAR exemption. But, but legally, he does not have to file.
And what is the maximum they can make before they have to file?
Well, he'd be 62 and
he's 76.
No, I'm
math.
adding 6, 7, 10, and then he gets 14. Is he single?
My mom just passed last year, so yeah.
Sorry. So like $11,550.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. And you got something to say?
No, I was just going to say, but that's a popular thing. I love telling clients, I say, I know you love to see me, but you don't have to anymore.
I know, and that makes me feel bad, too, when you don't see any your old client. Sometimes I have one client that just heard she comes in with her daughter now. She doesn't have to file anymore. Talking about medical, and I know we got calls waiting, don't forget nursing home. Nursing home is a gigantic expense. And, of course, those of you in New York State, if you're a private pay patient, you have a 6% refund coming on the bed tax, New York 258. And if you don't file it, they're going to keep your money. And we want to be good to New York, but we don't want to be that good. All right? And we're going to go to Dave. Hey, Dave, how can we help you?
Hi, Esther. How are you?
Good.
Okay. I'm thinking of selling one or two of my properties, and I've accelerated the payment pretty dramatically, and I should have an increase over what I paid.
Are they rental properties or are they vacant? Are they like second homes?
One's a primary, one is a rental.
Okay. Well, he's got good news with the primary.
Yep. Primary.
Okay, go ahead.
As long as are you single or married? Married. You can make up to a $500,000 profit on your primary house and not worry about tax.
As long as you live there 2 out of the last 5 years. So you live there at least 2 years, right, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay, you're good.
Okay. And when did you buy your rental property?
Oh, back in, my God, long time ago.
Okay, so it's probably more than 20 years?
No, not more than 20, no.
Okay, so when you sell your rental property, the depreciation that you've been taking systematically every year reduces the cost basis so that when you go to sell it, the gain that, like, let's say you bought it for $100 and you're going to sell it for $150, and in your head you might think, I only got a $50,000 gain. When you've been writing it off every year, like at $4,000 a year over 10 years, that's $40,000 in depreciation that's gone. And so in essence, the IRS takes that 40 from the 100. Now it's $60,000 cost basis against the $150,000 gain. So you have to really watch because the taxes can be pretty substantial on that.
Explain that to me again. So if you got if you take your itemized deduction or
no, not your itemized, your
depreciation.
Your depreciation per year,
mm-hmm.
and let's say the house is arbitrarily worth $100,000.
Right.
You had it for 10 years, and whatever depreciation.
The depreciation would be $36,360 because it's 3.3. Okay. It's $36,360.
Do they tax? So let's say if I sell it for $150. Do they tax? Does that
all that depreciation
considered earned income?
It's not earned income. It's going to be mostly capital gain, but it will be a gain.
Okay.
So the only way out of it is to exchange the property. Do you want to stay in the property business?
No,
okay.
I just want to take the profit.
Well, then you're going to all the depreciation will reduce the basis, so you're going to pay more taxes on the sale.
How long do you have to roll it over the profit?
You can't roll it over. You have to pay the taxes.
Oh, really?
Right.
Yep. The only thing, if you wanted to stay in it, you could do the exchange and get another rental property, and that postpones the gain.
Yeah. So they force you to spend money. Wonderful gig. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Bye-bye. And, for anybody that's got these kind of questions, give us a call at the office like Chris was saying.
And, one thing I want to say, too, is a lot of misconception is, well, I still have a mortgage left of $80,000, and I sold it for $90,000, so that gets counted, not on a rental property.
No, not at all. It's just plain numbers. Yep. This is what you paid, less the depreciation. You got an adjusted lower basis from what you're selling it, less expenses, and the rest is gain.
Yep.
Right? Okay, let's see. We got Ed. Hey, Ed, how can we help you?
Question on sales taxes.
Yeah.
I didn't do my tax yet, but last year I used the calculator in the computer to figure out what the sales tax was going to be. Now, this year I bought a car.
Good.
Paid sales tax of almost $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
I can add that to the amount from the calculator, right?
That's exactly right.
As long
now
as
make
it's
sure
a new car.
Right. Now,
it's got to be a new car, not a new used car.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, yeah, it is.
Okay.
All right. Now, here's the thing. You want to make sure that you're not the state sales tax is 4%. We live in an 8.75% county, or if you're in Niagara Falls,
8%.
So you have to, whatever would be in the chart, you would double it if you're in Niagara County, plus your sales tax on your new car or boat or RV.
I know that. The calculator in the computer does.
Okay, that's great. But yes, you can add your sales tax to it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Ed. I'm Esther Gulias, the tax lady, 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone. And we're gonna take a short break for the news, but I wanted to finish up on medical. So make sure if you're somebody that's looking to itemize, you take the time to add up, and don't forget your Medicare part
on your Social Security.
On your Social Security, because that's also deductible. And let's see, what else? Contact lenses, the solution for your contact lenses. Those are all things you have to do. Drug addiction treatment. Prescriptions. In vitro fertilization is all deductible. So we're gonna break for news. We'll see you on the other side. What can that be?
That is Pearl Jam.
That's Pearl Jam? Will I ever hear the rest of the record that makes it sound like it is Pearl Jam? That's it?
In
Just
2
an
seconds.
instrumental. Okay, we have to wait. Wait. When's it happening? Would you have known it? Okay.
Yeah, no.
I don't think I'm into Pearl Jam. I'm Esther Gulias, the tax lady. 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on his cell phone. And we're going to talk to Mike, who's got the patience of a saint. Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Mike, are you there?
Mike was trying to Google the music to see if he knew what it was.
Is Mike there?
Hello.
Oh, there he is.
You probably gave up on me, Mike. How are you? What can we do for you?
I'm collecting Social Security, and I made about $4,500 part-time.
Okay.
And I also, won about $4,000 at the casino.
Okay.
Do I have to file taxes?
Did you work? Did you get a W-2 for your working, or did you get a 1099?
A W-2.
Is there withholding, Mike?
Yes.
Don't you want to get your withholding back?
If that's what I got to do, if I file it,
yep. And how old are you?
I'm 65.
He doesn't get Social Security. Yeah, if you would have been between the ages of 25 and 65, you might have gotten Social Security and earned income credit.
Yep.
But yes, you got to file to get your money back.
Well, what money would I get back? The taxes they took out?
The state and federal that they withheld.
Oh, I would get all that money back?
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. And let's see, we're going to go to Dave in Amherst. Hi, Dave. How can we help you?
Hi, Esther. Thank you for the service on the radio.
Thank you.
It's really enlightening.
Thank you.
A couple of questions. Something similar to the guy just left. But I have a 1099. I had some property, land that I owned for, maybe 15 years, and I sold it. And I paid, let's use these numbers, I paid $11,000 for it, and I sold it for $12,000, and I got a 1099 form from my attorney for the $12,000. But I also paid on that, out of that, was paid out $3,000 to the realtor, and also it was like $1,300 to my attorney. So isn't that deductible off?
Okay, so this is, all right, so we're going to use all your numbers. The original $11,000 you paid for it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
To that, you get to add what you paid your attorney. To that, you get to pay what you paid to your realtor. To that, you get to add what you put in improvements to the property, and that's going to give you a total cost figure. So let's say that ends up to be $14,000.
Right.
From that, you compare it to what you got on the sale, the gross sale, and that will be your deductible loss.
Oh, then I take a loss, right?
That's right.
My friend told me that's a Schedule D form.
That's exactly right.
Something?
That's exactly right.
the other question I had is I'm 64, and I live pretty good. I'm single, and I live on my Social Security, barely, but I do. And but I do draw a little bit each year out of my IRA. I started this year, so because I paid taxes last year, I had worked last year. But so like I took out $3,000 on my IRA, and I got a form from them too. So
okay.
Now, does that fall under some kind of threshold that I don't have to pay taxes on that $3,000?
Well, you have to file a return because of the sale of the property. But if all you normally take out is the $3,000 out of the IRA and you have your Social Security, then no, you would not have to file.
Right. Up to what's the
but
threshold
you do have to file because of the sale of the property.
Oh yes, I know. That's what my buddy told me.
But the bottom line, you're going to have a loss, and the loss that you're going to have is going to offset the money that you took out of your IRA, and so you're not going to pay any taxes.
I won't pay no tax. Well,
nothing.
he said I wouldn't have paid out next year if I take $3,000 out.
No, you won't pay next year either.
Right.
And you know what? You could actually take more than $3,000 out
exactly right.
and not pay any tax.
Okay, because someone had told me that the government gets their money somehow. Like I stashed this money in the IRA.
No,
years ago.
you're eligible to actually. You got a deduction when you put it in. Now you can use it to your advantage and take it out and pay no tax on it, so you win and not the government.
You actually, if you're single, you actually can take out $11,550 out of your IRA and not pay any taxes on it.
Nice.
For you.
Nice.
For you. And then you can put it in an account. You know, you can do whatever you want with it. Because once it's out, it's out.
It's out, right. So that's good. So I probably won't pay no taxes this year at all then.
Not at all.
But I do have to file because of the land.
That's
and then one other 1099 I got was for I opened a different account, a bank account, to put my direct deposit Social Security check in, and they gave me $150 for going with their bank.
Well, that's right. That's right. And that's going to be taxable too. But you're still not going to pay taxes, Dave.
No taxes.
You're good to go. Okay?
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks, sir.
You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Give us a call, 803-0930, star 930 on your cell phone.
Out of the area, 1-800-616-WBEN. Whether you're in Toronto, Florida, would love to help you. Let's see, we're going to go to Mary. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Esther. How are you?
Good.
Good. I have a question. I'm taking care of the estate of my dad, who passed away 2 years ago.
And I hear your doggy.
Yeah, he sees somebody at the window. And I received a 1099 in my dad's name for a credit card that was written off 2 years ago before he passed away.
A debt cancellation.
Right. He was on Medicaid, and he was in a nursing home for 3 years. He had no assets.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've got this 1099, and I'm not sure what I need to do to let the IRS know that there's no money.
Well, and he passed away 2 years ago. It just came in.
Correct.
You can do a return under his social, but how much is it for?
$24,000.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay. You would want to do a form with use a 1040 with a form a 982, which says
982.
Yep,
right.
Insolvency.
So the whole thing is, at the time of the debt cancellation, your dad was effectively broke, correct?
Correct.
All right. So the 982 form is like an official form that says to the IRS, this is an exclusion on a debt cancellation, and the reason it's excluded is I was broke. And that is an exception, and so as a result, it won't be taxable. Now, if you go ahead and do that, that means that they won't come after the estate or anything and the heirs, and it won't be taxable. But like Chris says, you have to go back and amend the return to do that 982.
Go back and amend the 2000. He died in 2013, and I didn't file for him.
And this just came for 2014.
Correct. They wrote it off a couple of years ago. I don't know if they have to wait a certain amount of time.
You might want to call the issuer of the debt cancellation and see if they can't reissue it in that correct year. The bottom line is it's not going to be taxable.
No, I mean, you may even want to just wait, and if you do get a letter eventually, we just write one back saying
this is a decedent.
And
we could do a 982 at that time too.
Yeah, I was going to call IRS, but I understand you can't get through to them.
It's pretty hard, but and what Chris also brings up a good point is that you can just kind of put it in a drawer, wait, see if they write to you. If they do, then just give us a call. We'll help you with the 982.
Okay, one other little question for myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 71 and a half shortly.
Okay.
And I understand that I have to take a certain percentage of my 401k, which I have not taken yet.
Okay, 70 and a half, not 71 and a half.
70 and a half, excuse me.
Okay, all right.
Is there a formula for that?
Yeah, you take, as of December the 31st of the year previous, find out what the value was in your account, and you divide it by your life expectancy, which I think is 26.4.
27.4.
27.4. So
okay.
And then that gives you an answer, and that's how much you must take out of your pension plan or IRA for that first year. And then each year it goes down a little. It gets a little larger each year.
Oh, and do they publish what it is?
Yeah.
So I know what it'll be.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So
for your
just
help.
look under RMD.
RMD?
Right, required minimum distribution chart, and you'll see it on the internet.
Perfect.
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. I'm Esther Gulias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. We're going to take a short break. We'll see you on the other side.
Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl with yellow feathers in her hair.
How far do you have to go back for this one, huh?
Pretty far.
Do you know who that is?
That's Barry Manilow.
Oh, my God, Barry Manilow. That is 1,000 years old. All right, I'm Esther Gulias, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone, and we're going to go to Patient Sue. Hello, Patient Sue. How can we help you?
Hi, I'm a taxi driver, and I want to know how can I have them take out money so I don't owe money back at the end of the year?
You're self-employed, though, Sue, aren't you?
Yeah.
They don't pay you on a W-2. They give you a 1099, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's what you do. They actually won't withhold because you're a freelance. You're like your own boss. So what you do is you do what's called quarterly payments. And if you want to call us, we'll be very happy to give you 4 little payment slips, one due in April, one due in June, one in September, and one in January, so that you can pay as you go. You set aside the money, you pay as you go, and you send it in advance so that it's all prepaid before tax time.
Okay, that's what I'd like to do.
All right, good.
And I got one more question for you. Now, my father, he's 83 years old, and he gets disability in Social Security.
Sure.
And pension. Is any of that taxable?
Well, he's getting a Social Security disability pension, which now is Social Security. If that's his only source of income, he doesn't have to pay taxes.
Is he getting a pension on top of his Social Security?
Yes.
He gets a pension and the Social Security?
Yeah.
How much is the pension?
He's getting retirement.
How much, Sue?
Right? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, is he
saying
is he
like $400 or $500, and then he gets his pension?
Yeah. Well, if he's got a pension less than $11,500, he has no problem.
And it's just less than that, and then he gets his Social Security.
Yeah, but that won't be taxable if he's a single guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, what if he's married, but she don't have an income?
Oh, okay. Then it's even bigger. Then it's more like $22,000. So they're in good shape.
Now, what about his disability?
The Social Security is going to be tax free. And his pension, if it's under $20,000, they're not going to have a problem, Mom and Dad.
Disability. And then a disability.
Who's his disability through?
Disabilities, I don't know. Oh, he worked at General Motors.
Okay, you know what, Sue? Why don't you have your dad give us a jingle at our office, and then we can spend the time necessary to make sure that he's good. I presume he hasn't been filing, right?
No, they told him he don't have to file.
Right. I don't think he has to. I don't think he has to file. But why don't you call?
Okay.
You got a pencil?
Yes, I do.
Call 632.
Okay.
7886. Okay.
Thank you, 6.
Thank you, dear. 27886, and ask anybody. Any of the staff there can talk to you and find out. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Bye bye.
You know, but make sure she should save her receipts for the renting of her taxi, the gas she puts into
on
the
hers,
car, on hers. I mean, so any expense you have, so that would be a deduction against the income to help reduce your estimates.
That's exactly right. And that way, but the whole thing is, anybody that's self-employed can prepay their taxes and should prepay their taxes so that you don't get behind the 8 ball. As a matter of fact, I did a tax return yesterday for somebody, and she was self-employed, and she was appalled at how much she had to pay an FICA, 15.3%. And so she's catching up from last year. Then she's got to pay her liability. And so I suggested that she do a home equity credit line because it's low interest, pay her liability this year with that, so that she's all up to snuff, and then start making her estimates so that she's not going to have this problem again. All right, now we're going to go to Joy. Hey, Joy, how are you? Hello? Hello, Joy.
Is this for Joy?
Yes.
Yeah, Joy.
Yes. I have a question. I'm from St. Louis.
Okay.
And if you live in one state and you have a home there, that's your domicile, and you plan on returning there, and you are working in another state, is any of your rental for a place to live in the state you're working in deductible?
It all depends.
Now, it depends if your work sent you here and they said, well, we need you here, Joy. We need you to go to Buffalo for 9 months, okay, to work in our plant there. After those 9 months, you're coming back to St. Louis. Then
I get it.
Then those would be deductible. If it's more than a year, then no, it's not deductible.
Right. So it was interesting. We were just talking about that on the way to the studio.
And if you make the choice, then it's not deductible.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, for instance, a lot of corrections officers in New York State start downstate knowing they're going to come upstate in a short period of time. But when they're hired downstate, they're hired in a permanent position. If you're hired in a permanent position, then that's not a temporary assignment. But if your company says, Joy, we need you to go to this place for a short period of time, and you go there and you're paying rent, you're buying your food, you're paying utilities, then that's all deductible on a 2106 as a temporary assignment. If they say, Joy, we'd like you to go to this state, and this is where we'd like you to go, then they call you back, you were hired as a permanent employee at that place, and it wouldn't be deductible.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought, but I thought it never hurt to ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Bye-bye. I'm Esther Gilius, the tax lady from EG Tax. Our phone number here in studio is 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone. Out of town, it's 1-800-616-WBEN. Love to hear what you have to say. We're talking about itemizing, and we've kind of alluded to some of the things that are deductible. Taxes. So taxes would be your
school and your county tax. If you live in a city or village, those taxes would also be
on your
residence.
Right.
Yep.
A personal residence.
Your personal.
Or your cottage.
Yep.
Or your second or third
your
or fourth
home.
or 12th home.
Yep.
All property taxes, all real estate property taxes are deductible, right?
Yes.
That you pay on your home, assessed to you, paid with your money.
Correct.
How about sales taxes?
Sales tax could be, depending if it's more than your state withholding, your state tax that you paid to New York throughout the year.
Right. Now, for people that are in Florida, they don't have a state tax.
So then they can do their sales tax.
Their sales tax is like their lifeline. That's definitely deductible, right?
Yes.
And then there's interest. Now, not all interest is deductible on your personal home, is it? Homes.
Yes.
Because it can be a maximum of two
houses.
2 mortgages, right?
Yep.
So if you have an RV, which is considered a second home, it's got a potty and a bathroom. I mean, a potty and a kitchen, not a potty and a bathroom.
And a bedroom.
And a bedroom, right? That's considered a second home.
Yep.
Then your primary home, right? and you can have a first mortgage and a second mortgage on that primary home. Then if you had a cottage, you'd have to decide between which is the best interest to take, your cottage interest or your
RV interest.
Right.
Or even your personal, because maybe your personal house is getting close to being paid off.
That's exactly right, because you have to be very careful about which interest you're taking. The other thing is, under interest, there's investment interest too.
Yep. Where you're borrowing money from your stockbroker to buy the stocks.
Right.
That's margin interest. Then that margin interest could be deductible too.
So, and student loan interest?
On page 1 of the 1040.
That's exactly right. That's an adjustment. So there's like mortgage interest, there's student loan interest, and investment interest. But the mortgage interest is limited to 2 residences.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Then there's charity, which you have to be really careful of, because many times people will say to me, "Oh, just give me what's
allowed.
Give me what's allowed." But nothing is allowed. 0 is allowed. You have to have a receipt for every piece of charity that you put on your tax return. But if you have the receipt, that's great. If it's non-cash, you still have to have the receipt for what you gave to the Salvation Army or the Vietnam veterans or whatever. And you have to have a list of what you gave. And be able
for
to
the
substantiate
clothes and your
it.
furniture. Yep. Take pictures of your non-cash items.
Right, and make a list of what you gave.
Yes.
And you can also take mileage.
Right. If you're volunteering, your Meals on Wheels, your miles driving to people's homes,
Or
giving them food.
maybe you're a docent downtown at the theater, right?
Yep,
Where you're volunteering for not qualified, not-for-profit.
Yep. Or you're coaching your kids baseball, soccer, hockey through the town, or and you're not getting paid. It's all volunteer. They're a non-for-profit organization. That mileage, if you're going away for tournaments, the hotels for those tournaments because you're a coach, is deductible.
Now, how about if you give something and it's more than $5,000 non-cash?
Well, you better have an appraisal.
Righto. The maximum you can take non-cash contribution without an appraisal is $5,000. All right, then miscellaneous itemized deductions, we were kind of alluding to that. Generally, those have to do with making money. So that means as an employee, you might you pay union dues, have safety glasses,
work boots,
steel Carhartts. Like maybe you're somebody working outside, you have to have the Carhartts to cover up. Maybe you're an oil mechanic and you're full of grease and you have to get all those aprons and stuff to make yourself protected.
You have to buy specific uniforms that say your company's name on it. A nurse, you have your scrubs. The doctors with your scrubs.
Malpractice insurance. Continuing education,
license renewals.
Right. Maybe you'd go. You'd have travel between jobs. Maybe you start at this hospital if you're a nurse, and you go to that hospital in the afternoon. The between job travel would be deductible. Or maybe you're working 2 jobs. Or maybe you're doing banking for your employer, and you stop on the way home and drop the deposit off.
Yep.
That's deductible.
Yep.
Or maybe you're an outside salesman, and this is really important. If you're an outside salesman and they're giving you a flat amount per month, like we give you $1,000 a month, and we put it in your paycheck, that means that all of your expenses are deductible because you've already been taxed on it.
Right. Yep.
So it's not like you're going to offset it. You're going to take the whole thing.
Take the whole thing. But you got your mileage, you got your cell phone, you got your gifts, you got your meals, your entertainment. Internet, iPad.
Office supplies, postage, shipping, everything that it would take for you to act responsibly, ordinary necessary.
An office in your home, as long as you have a room solely and dedicated only for that purpose.
Right.
So
safe deposit box. And then the other kind of miscellaneous itemized deductions are the ones that aren't limited to 2%, like gambling losses.
As long as you have winnings, you're reporting.
You've got to report your winnings on line 21, like our poor friend that found out it's not such a good idea, and then your gambling losses on the Schedule A, right?
Yep.
Right out. Okay, well, if you have questions during the week, you don't have to wait for us till Saturday. We'd love to have you call, though. But during the week, you can call any of our area offices, and you can talk directly to a tax accountant who would love to help you. You can email us through our website at egtax.com, or you can call the office at 632-7886, and we're very happy to help you with your particular tax question, because the IRS not answering all the phone calls, right?
Nope. We're unable.
And the other thing is, if you're somebody that doesn't have insurance, EG Tax wants to help you with your health insurance too.
You got the 1095A and it's wrong. Give us a call.
That's
we
right.
can try to help you get
That's
that all
exactly
straightened
right.
out.
So until next Saturday, I'm Esther Gulius, the tax lady with Christopher Fabian. Have a great week. See you around the office. Bye-bye.